This is how you disagree in a parliament. These are the Maori representatives in the New Zealand's parliament who are angry at how the founding treaty of Waitangi is interpreted. This treaty, signed in 1840 by over 500 Maori chiefs and British colonizers, was meant to create a shared governance framework of New Zealand while protecting the Maori land and rights. But over time, differences in translation between the English and Maori texts, as well as historical grievances and cultural differences, required the development of guiding principles. And this is why understanding of cross-cultural communications is so important. The Maori are a fascinating group of people who arrived over 1,000 years ago from Polynesia to New Zealand. Today they make up about 15% of the New Zealand's population, and their customs and communications are really deeply woven into their nation's identity. They're quite different from white New Zealanders, and you've probably seen the Maori Hakas before. However, the treaty's terms were so poorly translated and understood but differently by a lot of different Maoris and the British, which led to a lot of misunderstandings and conflicts. Following the treaty, many Maori lands were confiscated, acquired through unfair means, and the Maori faced significant cultural, economic, social changes under the British rule. The Maori population, which once thrived, sharply declined due to diseases introduced by Europeans, warfare and land loss, and causing severe impacts on the traditional way. But they kept on fighting and they kept their culture alive. And their culture is so rich, proud, and deeply rooted in values like respect, community, and spiritual connection to the land. And when we talk about communication with Maori, we're talking about something quite unique in the world. It's not just about words, but it's also about symbolism, like these guys here. The body language, even, yes, disagreement, because disagreement in their culture is really natural and it's even encouraged. The people from Maori lands have a special way of disagreeing that doesn't always involve direct confrontation, but rather open, respectful dialogue where both sides express their views freely. And they believe that healthy disagreement strengthens community ties by allowing so many voices to be heard. And I really like that about the Maoris. And one of the most powerful symbols of Maori culture is the Haka. But the Haka isn't a dance or a battle cry. It's a deeply meaningful ritual. The Haka represents strength, unity, and a connection to their ancestors and culture. Traditionally, it was performed by warriors before battle. They were meant to energize, intimidate opponents. But when Maori warriors stick their tongue out during the Haka, it's called the vero, a symbolic gesture meant to challenge their opponents and show their fearlessness. The extended tongue represents defiance and strength and way of saying, I'm here, I'm not afraid, I'm grounded in my power and my culture. It's Maori, it's a visual assertion of mana or spiritual strength and respect for their ancestors. And understanding this culture means understanding the strength in their communication. That's where I'm fascinating about. From their respect-filled approach to disagreement to powerful Haka that expresses identity, pride, and connection, the Maori remind me of communication is not only about talking, it's about embodying who you are. Now, if we place these groups into my cultural archetypes, Maori culture fits within the reflective and tradition root archetypes. They're really deeply relational, placing a high value on community, shared history, and respect for lineage. They are also quite reflective people, which means they use storytelling and proverbs to pass wisdom and tradition and culture. And they really prioritize ancestral knowledge, rituals, and strong ties to the land and each other. However, mainstream white New Zealand's, the Kiwis, culture aligns more with hybrids archetypes. They're really adaptive, embracing new ideas and solutions with a pragmatic approach. They're known for the number 8 wire mentality, meaning they're resourceful and inventive. Additionally, they are dynamic, yet really expressive in a subdued way, with a communication style that balances friendliness and understatement. And I really like the New Zealanders, the Maoris and the Kiwis, and I like the way they communicate, and I'm really fascinated by this island, and I can't wait to visit again.